As I was getting ready to introduce tonight's show, we were very fortunate that one of our fabulous celebrities on board said, you know what, I would love to introduce them, if you don't mind. So do me a favor, please welcome the one and only Mr. Peter Asher.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, when I heard there was a Crosby, Stills and Nash show, I wanted to introduce it myself if I could, because all those three gentlemen are good friends of mine, Mr. Crosby, Mr. Stills, and Mr. Nash. I met them kind of consecutively. I met Graham, of course, when he was in the Hollies, when we were all part of the whole British thing happening in the 60s, when I was half of Peter and Gordon. We did a lot of TV shows with the Hollies, and even back then, everyone admired Graham's amazing high tenor a lot, and he was one of everyone's favorite singers. Then the next one I met was when Gordon and I very first went to New York. I think on one of our very early trips. We were doing a television show called Hullabaloo, that some of you might remember. And one of the great things about Hullabaloo was that there were always other bands on. One time we did it, I got to meet Diana Ross and the Supremes and stuff like that. You always got to meet cool people. And we were excited that we did a show on Hullabaloo with the Byrds. And that's when I first met David Crosby, with whom I'm still very good friends. And finally, when I got to California, I moved to California in about 1970. When I first got to California, that's when I met Stephen Stills. I think I met him actually at a Monkees party that I went to with George Harrison, where everyone was naked. It's true. It's true. Somebody said, we're going to the Monkees party. By the way, it's a nudist party. And I think George kept his clothes on. He was quite old-fashioned about such things. But anyway, so I gradually got to know them all, but I, of course, had no idea of what was to come. And it wasn't until Graham himself moved to California, and I think left the Hollies, that we all started hearing rumors of this amazing group. And while we were hearing the rumors, a friend of mine called David Geffen, I don't know if anybody knows David Geffen, who's now, of course, the huge mogul, giant entrepreneur, owns everything in the world. Back then, he was an agent at Willie Morris, and he'd heard about Crosby, Stills and Nash, and he'd spoken to them and he'd signed them. So David called me and asked me if I wanted to come over to his house to hear this new trio that had just formed. So I had the pleasure of sitting there in David's living room, hearing CSN play Marrakesh Express for the very first time anywhere. And I realized that David was, not for the first time in his life, nor the last, onto a big winner. So it's therefore with great pleasure, as a huge fan of CSN and of all their music, that tonight I get to introduce Crosby, Stills and Nash Songs. That's good. Hey there.
Well, that was definitely, by far, the best intro this trio has ever been graced with. Thank you, Peter. We love these songs, and it is a tribute. We make no illusions, we're not those guys, but we try to honor these songs, and we hope you enjoy it.
Can we sing a
Well, I came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road, and I asked him, tell me, where are you going? This he told me. are stardust, we are golden, we are million-year-old calling, and we've got to get ourselves back to the we are stardust, we are golden, we are caught in the devil's garden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. By the time we got to Woodstock, we were half a million strong. And everywhere was a sign and a celebration. But I dreamed I saw the bomb of death planes riding shotgun in the sky, turning into bodies of light above our nation. And we are stardust, we are golden, we are million-year-old calling, and we've got to get ourselves back to the stardust, we are golden, we are caught in the devil's garden, and we've got to get ourselves back to the How you guys doing? We are CSNsongs. And we're here to tribute the music of three great guys, actually four.
Yeah.
There you go. There's some Canadians here. This one, next one is, I love this song, Wooden Ships. If you smile at me, I will understand. 'Cause that is something everybody everywhere does in the same. I can see by your coat, my friend, you're from the other side. There's just one thing I've got to know. Can you tell me please, who won?
Yes, I've been eating them for 6 or 7 weeks now.
I haven't got sick once.
They'll probably keep us both alive. Wooden ships on the water, very free and easy. You know the way it's supposed to be. And silver people on the shoreline, let us be. Talk about very free and easy. Sister and by the hands, I need her away from this foreign land. And so far away, where we might laugh again. We are leaving. You don't it's a fair wind blowing warm out of the south over my shoulder. Guess I'll set a course and go. Thank you. And I've been reading Graham's autobiography, and it's great. He talks about the Peter and Gordon stories, and they talk about, you know, writing all these songs, and you know they wrote them like this, with one guitar or 2 guitars. And this next song is a beauty. It was one of these teacher children well.
Thank you.
Well, I don't often say it where it means so much, but we're all in the same boat, right? I was just thinking of that before. And, you know, speaking of boats, Stephen Stills, it was, you know, and Crosby too, they're just avid sailors. And Stephen was known for his sailing to Tahiti from California. And the way you get to Tahiti, if you don't use any technology, is if you're going to do it by the stars, you got to cross down into the southern hemisphere, and then a bunch of lights in the sky, the stars make up a cross. It's called the Southern Cross, and he wrote this song.
2, 3, 4.
Got out of town on a boat to the southern island, sailing a reach for a following sea. We were making for the raids on the outside, and the downhill run to the Poverty Bay. Off of this wind on this headland demarcates, we've got 80 feet of waterline nicely making way. In a noisy bar in Alabama, I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, larger voices calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I've been around and I have been around the world, and I'm looking for that woman, girl, who knows love can endure, and you know it will. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why we came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are dying. And my love is an anchor tied with a silver chain. I've got my ship, and all the flags are flying. She is all that I have left, and music is her name. Think about how many times I have fallen. Spirits are using me, larger voices calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I've been around, I have been
Thank you so much. We're so happy to be on this cruise. Isn't this an awesome thing? This next song, David Crosby tells a short story about Graham Nash being able to write a song very quickly, and most of them were hits. And he was leaving from his house in Hawaii to go on tour, and he was a friend was driving him to the airport, and a friend said, "I bet you can't write a song in the time it takes to get to the airport." And in 15 minutes, he wrote this song. Traveling twice the speed of sound, it's easy to get burned. When the shows were over, we had to get back home. And when we opened up the door, I had to be alone. She stands before my eyes, driving me to the airport and to the friendly skies. Going through security, I held her for so long. She finally looked at me in love, and she was gone. Just a song before I go, a lesson to be learned. Traveling twice the speed of sound, it's easy to get burned.
Thank you.
You know what? There's only one thing that we can do as human beings. Put one foot in front of the other and carry on. One morning I woke up and I knew you were really gone. A new day, a new way, a new heart to love. Go your way, I'll go mine. Carry on. The sky is clearing and the night is going down. The sun, he come and the world's goodbye. Rejoice, rejoice, we have no choice but to carry on. The fortunes of fables are rainbows in song. Now witness the quickness with which we belong. I can say, you got to pay your dues and carry on. Ready, sing with us now. Oh. You guys know that, like, CSN was like sort of the first super group, right? Put together from 3 guys who were already successful and famous and great songwriters in their own right. And this is a song from one of the bands that the guys were in before CSN. See if you can guess which one it is.
What it's worth.
Something happened here. Come on, help me out. What it is ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there, and it's telling me I've got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Joe, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Hey Phil. Yes, Lou. I heard some people singing. I think you heard most of the people on my side over here, I think. I think the key word was some people singing. I'll tell you what, let's take it around. See, ready? You guys ready? 1, 2, 3, it's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. That was my side, by the way. It's kind of average. Let's try it again. Ready? Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, it's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Yeah! Give yourselves a round of applause for that one. This bad line's being drawn, and nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds, getting so much resistance from behind. It's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going What he did for me. 1,000 people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs. Mostly sing hooray for our side. It's time to stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Paranoia strikes into your life, it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid, but just about a line, the men come and take you away. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop now. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. Yeah, give yourselves a hand.
You're hard.
Second while Phil changes gear. Let me introduce you to these guys. On my left, on the guitar, the incredible Mr. Phil Bertolo. To my immediate left, great singer, Mr. Bill Kelly. I'm Lou Pucci. Love the one you're with. If you're down and confused and you don't remember who you're talking to, concentration, it slips away because your baby, she's so far away.